Today we're going to talk about something that isn't usually talked about when it comes to box freight. Hello, welcome to Safety Update. I am Sam. I am your favorite safety person that you have ever had in your life. I'm just assuming, based on conversations I've had with one person, that I'm the best safety director, safety supervisor, whatever you want to call me, that you've ever had. Thank you for that. You didn't have to say that, but I really appreciate it. Anyways, hey, okay, we got to talk about something here, though. We have had a couple issues just recently. It seems like, you know, I've said before, maybe not on here, but I've said to other people that the guy whoever invented the phrase, when it rains, it pours, I think that he worked in the transportation industry, because there seems to be a lot of times when, like, we'll go months or weeks without something, and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 like we'll just get hit with something. Well, we're there right now, okay? Load securement. We don't talk about this very often. Usually that seems to be something for the flatbedders out there, but it really is something that everybody needs to pay attention to, even if we're just pulling, you know, a dry van trailers. We have had a couple We've had a couple deals lately where we have had heartbreaking episodes, let's call them episodes, and the loads have shifted forward. Now, this could happen to any load, but the one that it seems to commonly happen to is when we pull the forklifts, okay? Those are extremely heavy, if you haven't figured that out by now. They are extremely heavy, and when we have to slam on the brakes for any reason, they usually will partially go through the front of trailers. We have had, I believe, 3, maybe 2. I think we've had 3, though, like literally within the last 10 days of instances where we have had to hit the brakes. We're going to look at one here today in the safety, or in the dash cam video, of what kind of really not to do. But even if it's not your fault at all, if you have to slam on the brakes, those are really heavy pieces of equipment that are just held in by blocks and nails. And any sort of sudden movements with those things will really cause them to shift and really bang up a trailer pretty bad. Even if it doesn't come through the front of the trailer per se, it still bangs it up and dents it really bad. And we even had a brand new trailer this week that got hit and banged up pretty good. So we're trying to keep this equipment looking nice, and when we hit them with forklifts, doesn't happen, okay? So be extremely conscious of what you are pulling. Forklift loads, obviously, but again, like I said, it can happen with any loads we have. If you've been in the industry for more than 10 seconds, you know that shippers right now have gotten really bad, okay? I've said this a couple times where I don't know if they're teaching them how to properly ship stuff, how to wrap stuff, whatever. You know, we've seen stuff with just like one of the wrap stuff, the plastic wrap, and then they say, that's good, that's not going anywhere. Meanwhile, the box that it's wrapped is 700 pounds. And so it doesn't really matter what you're pulling. If you are pulling something with any sort of weight to it, any sort of sudden stopping or anything like that is going to cause it to shift. Now, if it's like, you know, nice, neat pallets or whatever, usually we don't really have an issue. But sometimes shippers will kind of place some stuff in weird locations due to weight issues or something, or just they don't know how to load a trailer. So, and then in those cases, yeah, we've had pallets tip over on us. Usually it doesn't end well because the contents spill out. Then we have a claim. Then it gets into a big messy issue. But obviously, if you are pulling a forklift load, just be very aware that you cannot slam on the brakes when it comes to those things, because they're not going to stop, okay? The forklifts are just busting right through the braces. Those braces aren't there to stop sudden stops. Those are there just to, you know, make sure the forklift doesn't move during normal traffic situations, okay? So please be very conscious of what you're pulling. Please be very aware of your surroundings, because as we'll see in this dash cam this week, we were not paying attention. And because of that, we had to slam on our brakes. And because of that, we had a forklift load that, you know, went through the trailer. So it didn't go all the way through. It's not one of those type of videos, but you'll see here it slammed the trailer pretty good and ended up causing some damage to it. And, you know, with these forklift loads too, just going back to those, you know, those are expensive pieces of equipment to fix. So if we do cause damage to the forklifts, then we have to get that repair done as well. It's just not a good situation. So please, please, please be very aware of what you're pulling. Try really hard not to make any sudden stops or sudden accelerations even. You just got to really know what's in the back there. You got to know how it's packed. Make sure it's packed well. If the shipper will let you on the dock, go through it, okay? Go through that trailer and make sure that it is packed well, because like I said, shippers don't do a very good job most of the time. So it's up to you guys. Make sure that you're checking that and that it's up to your standards before you take off, okay? All right, let's watch some dash cam. Okay, here we are. We're down in Texas, and it's late at night. It might even be early morning. I'm not quite, I can't remember. But we're pulling, this is a forklift load, and we're pulling the forklifts here, and we're just going to watch a dash cam, and you'll see kind of what went wrong here. So this one was our fault. This one was our fault. We weren't paying attention. In talking with the driver about this, he said he thought his GPS was taking him on a wrong route, and because of that, he was trying to kind of monkey around with that, and it cost him. So he ended up, as you can see here, he ends up running a red light. The car thinks that we're stopping, and the car decides to go. Now, is the car at fault in some of that situation? You could say that, okay? You could say that the car should have noticed that we weren't coming to a stop. He shouldn't have turned left. But at the same time, I've said this in a lot of other videos, these cars don't know how these semi-trucks operate, okay? So they can assume that you guys can stop on a dime, which with our disc brakes on the trailers, we can stop pretty good. We did get stopped. We didn't hit the car. But unfortunately, as you see, as we're coming up to the intersection, it turns red. We had time to stop. The car comes up, but you see right here, you got that bump. And what that bump is that is the forklifts shifting in the back of our trailer and hitting the front of the trailer. Okay, not an ideal situation. These forklifts kind of partially went through the front wall a little bit. It was a hard enough hit. It broke open part of the wall, and we had to take the trailer back, get it fixed, reload the forklifts or cross-dock the forklifts basically, and move on that way. So again, it's an expensive problem. Okay, it is a problem. We got to repair the trailer now. We got to pay someone to unload the trailer, reload the trailer, any potential claims that come with the forklift. I mean, a sudden stop like this, because you're not paying attention, could cost well over $10,000. Okay, I mean, well over $10,000. I don't even know how much a trailer is going to cost in this, but it's very expensive for not paying attention. So I'm asking you guys, okay? I do not want to see this anymore, especially, you know, it's one thing if the car were pulling out over a green light, we had to slam on our brakes, but this is 100% our fault. We should be slowing down, we should be at a stop, and we weren't. And that could have been potentially even a lot worse than what it was, you know. If we hit that car, cause any damage, now we got not cargo claim, but we have an auto claim on top of that. Blind T-boning somebody like that, that could result in injuries. You know, you got that soft tissue injury, all of a sudden their neck and their back hurts, and now we got doctor bills. And I mean, that, if we were to hit that car, that could have escalated to over $100,000 worth of medical bills that we have to pay, car bills that we have to pay, cargo bills that we have to pay, then we have to fix our truck, we have to fix our truck. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. So be very aware of what you're doing out there. Be very aware of your surroundings. If you're coming up to a stoplight, don't mess around with the GPS at that time. Again, if the GPS is sending you in a wrong way, unless you're like directly almost ready to hit a bridge because it's a low bridge, then you should mess with it. But if you come up to an intersection, give it your full attention, okay? If you think your GPS is doing something wrong, pull over and mess with it then, okay? Because this could have been a very, very bad situation had our driver not seen his error and slammed on the brakes. It already was a bad situation, but it could have been a lot worse, okay? I don't want you guys to go through this. I don't want to see it, okay? As your safety guy, that was a bad safety move. So be aware of what you're doing out there, okay? That's what I'm asking you. That's what you're paid to do. Make sure that you're aware. Make sure you're aware of what you're pulling. Make sure you're aware of your surroundings. Make sure you're aware of the stoplights. You know, don't get caught off guard. Give it your full attention out there. I don't care if it's 11 o'clock at night, 2 in the morning, whatever. As you can see, it only takes one other car to be on the road for that to potentially be a very bad situation. So as always, comments, questions, concerns, I'm all ears. You might have noticed Bill is now over at Harrison, so you can come on the office. It's all mine. It's my office, and love to talk to you guys and go over stuff like this and get your opinions on it. That's why we show this. So, anyways. But until that next time, or next time I see you, or the next video, whatever, always remember, okay, to drive safe.